Welcome to Deep Links, the podcast where we dig deep into the tough truths and talk about the things everyone else is too scared to touch. Today, we're going to jump into something that a lot of people need to hear, whether they want to admit it or not. We're talking about why men absolutely must embrace Stoicism and learn to control their emotions. Now, fair warning, this one might sting a bit, but you know what? Sometimes the truth hurts. And if you're looking for sugarcoating, you're in the wrong place. But if you want to hear the real deal, stick around, because we're about to lay it all out. First off, let's just get this out of the way. Men, you've been lied to. From the day you were born, you were fed a bunch of garbage about how to be a man. Be yourself, they said. Show your emotions, they said. Be vulnerable, they said. Let's be real, those are all nice-sounding ideas that only work in a perfect world. But we don't live in a perfect world, do we? Nope. We live in a world that will chew you up and spit you out if you show even a hint of weakness. We live in a world where men are constantly under attack, where every move you make is scrutinized and criticized. And yet, they want you to be soft? To show your emotions? Give me a break. Let's be clear, the moment you start wearing your emotions on your sleeve, people lose respect for you. That's just a fact. Whether it's in your career, your relationships, or just your day-to-day life, people are looking to see how you handle yourself. And trust me, no one's impressed by a guy who breaks down and whines every time something doesn't go his way. They may tell you they appreciate it, but deep down, they're losing respect for you. You see, society says they want men to be open and vulnerable, but when you actually do it, you're mocked, you're seen as weak, and you're left out in the cold. And here's the kicker, it's not just men who think this way. Women do too. You think women are attracted to a guy who's constantly in his feelings? No way. Women want a rock, not a puddle. They want a man who's steady, who's confident, who knows what he wants and goes after it. Not a guy who cries at the drop of a hat or needs constant emotional validation. It's time to stop believing this nonsense and start facing reality. If you want to be respected, if you want to be admired, you've got to get your emotions in check. And that's where Stoicism comes in. So, what is Stoicism? It's an ancient philosophy, sure, but more than that, it's a way of life that teaches you to be strong, to be disciplined, to be unshaken by the nonsense that life throws at you. Stoicism is about controlling your emotions, not letting them control you. It's about not being reactive, not getting all worked up over things you can't control, and keeping a level head no matter what's going on around you. And guess what? That's exactly what you need to survive in this world. Think about it. Look around you. How many guys do you know who just fall apart at the slightest challenge? How many men do you see complaining and whining because things didn't go their way? How many times have you seen a guy crumble because he let his emotions get the best of him? It's sad, but it happens all the time. And here's the hard truth, no one is going to respect you if you can't hold it together when things get tough. The world is tough enough as it is, and if you can't handle your own emotions, you're not going to handle anything else. You see, life doesn't care about your feelings. The world doesn't care if you're sad or upset or stressed out. Life is going to throw all kinds of crap your way, and it's not going to wait for you to be ready. It's not going to slow down just because you're having a bad day. The only thing you can do is toughen up and learn how to deal with it. And that's what Stoicism is all about, learning how to deal with whatever life throws at you without breaking down or losing your mind. Now, some of you might be thinking, but isn't it important to feel our feelings? Isn't it important to express ourselves? Sure, it's important to acknowledge your feelings, but there's a difference between acknowledging them and letting them control you. There's a difference between feeling an emotion and acting like a child every time you feel something. Stoicism is about feeling those emotions, but not letting them dictate your actions. It's about recognizing them, understanding them, and then moving on. Look, emotions are like wild animals. They're unpredictable, they're dangerous, and if you don't learn how to control them, they'll control you. And here's the thing that most people don't realize, your emotions are yours to control. They're not some outside force acting on you. They're a product of your own mind, and that means you have the power to decide how you're going to react to them. Are you going to let them control you? Or are you going to take control? Think about the men you admire. Think about the men who've made a difference in this world, the men who've accomplished great things. Do you think they got where they are by letting their emotions run wild? Hell no. They got there by staying calm, by staying focused, by not letting every little thing get to them. They knew how to stay steady when things got rough. They knew how to keep their cool under pressure. And that's what you need to do if you want to succeed. Let's take a look at how emotional control plays out in real life. Imagine you're at work, and your boss comes down on you hard for something you didn't even do. How do you handle it? Do you lose your temper? Do you start arguing and making a scene? Or do you stay calm, take it in stride, and address the situation rationally? A man who's embraced Stoicism doesn't lose his cool. He doesn't let his emotions get the better of him. He stays calm, he stays collected, and he deals with the problem in a way that commands respect. Because guess what? No one's going to respect the guy who blows up at every little thing. But they will respect the guy who can handle himself, no matter what. Now, let's talk about relationships. This is where so many men trip up. They think being emotional is going to make their partner feel closer to them. But that's not how it works. Women don't want a man who's all over the place emotionally. They don't want a guy who breaks down and cries every time things get tough. They want a man who's strong, who's steady, who they can rely on when things get hard. They want a man who's not going to crumble under pressure. Here's a little secret that no one's telling you. The moment you start acting like a fragile little flower, constantly needing emotional reassurance, is the moment you start losing her respect. Sure, she might say she wants you to open up and be more emotional, but deep down, she wants you to be strong. She wants you to be the rock, not the waves crashing against it. Women are biologically wired to seek security and stability in a partner, and nothing says stability like emotional control. So, what do? You stop being an emotional mess. You stop letting your feelings dictate your actions. You start being the man who can handle his emotions, who doesn't let every little thing get to him, who's not constantly seeking validation or reassurance. That's what women respect. That's what they're attracted to. And that's what's going to set you apart from the rest of the guys out there who are still buying into this nonsense that men need to be more emotional. But it's not just about relationships or work. It's about every aspect of your life. Emotional control is what separates the men from the boys. It's what separates those who succeed from those who fail. It's what separates the leaders from the followers. And it's not easy. No one said it would be. But nothing worth having ever is. Now, some of you might be thinking, this sounds like a lot of pressure. Why should I have to do all this? Why can't I just be myself? Here's the hard truth, because just being yourself isn't good enough. Not if you want to achieve great things. Not if you want to be respected. Not if you want to be the kind of man who makes a difference in this world. Just being yourself is for people who are content with mediocrity. But if you're listening to this podcast, I'm betting you want more than that. I'm betting you want to be the best version of yourself, the strongest version of yourself, the most capable version of yourself. And that's going to take work. That's going to take discipline. That's going to take stoicism. Stoicism isn't about being perfect. It's not about never feeling emotions. It's about not letting those emotions rule you. It's about learning to control them, to channel them, to use them to your advantage. It's about understanding that you have the power to decide how you're going to react to any situation. It's about being the master of your own mind, the captain of your own ship. Look, the world is a tough place. It's not going to get any easier. You're going to face challenges. You're going to face setbacks. You're going to face people who try to bring you down. But you know what? That's life. That's the way it is. And you've got a choice. You can either let it break you, or you can stand up, face it head on, and refuse to be beaten. That's what Stoicism is all about. Stoicism teaches you to focus on what you can control and to let go of what you can't. It teaches you to keep your emotions in check, to stay calm under pressure, and to not let the little things bother you. And that's exactly what you need to be doing if you want to be a real man in this world. You've got to be like a rock in a storm. The world can throw whatever it wants at you, stress, failure, rejection, you name it, but you stay solid. You stay focused. You don't let anything knock you off course. And that's not just about being tough, it's about being smart. It's about understanding that getting emotional, getting worked up, getting all bent out of shape over every little thing is just a waste of your time and energy. And let's not forget, society is constantly telling you to be more in touch with your feelings, to open up more, to be more vulnerable. But here's the thing, they don't really want that. Because the minute you start doing it, they start to lose respect for you. The minute you start acting all soft and emotional, they start to see you as weak. So why play that game? Why not take control instead? Why not be the kind of man who commands respect just by the way he carries himself, the way he handles himself, the way he keeps his emotions in check? Look, guys, it's time to wake up. It's time to stop buying into the lies. It's time to stop letting society tell you how to be a man. You know what's right. You know what you need to do. You know that if you want to be successful, if you want to be respected, if you want to be the kind of man who gets things done, you've got to get your emotions in check. You've got to stop letting every little thing get to you. You've got to stop being so damn sensitive. So here's the bottom line, embrace Stoicism. Learn to control your emotions. Stop letting the world tell you how to feel and how to act. Be the master of your own mind. Be the captain of your own ship. The world doesn't owe you anything, and it sure as hell isn't going to give you anything. If you want respect, if you want success, if you want to be the kind of man who stands out in this world, you've got to earn it. And that starts with taking control of your emotions. And don't get me wrong, it's not easy. It takes work. It takes practice. It takes discipline. But the rewards are worth it. The respect you'll earn, the success you'll achieve, the man you'll become, it's all worth it. So start today. Start right now. Start working on controlling your emotions, on not letting every little thing get to you, on being the kind of man who commands respect just by the way he handles himself. So there you have it, folks. The hard truth about why men must embrace Stoicism and learn to control their emotions. If you've made it this far, you've got the guts to handle the truth, and I respect that. Now, if you want more of this no BS, straight up talk, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the Deep Links channel. We're just getting started, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Stay strong, stay stoic, and we'll catch you in the next one.